started here at the Today Show, I was kind of the rookie, right? And different celebrities would come into the studio and, I wasn't interviewing them, but I would talk to them in the green rooms or I would observe them. And there were some folks, like Steph Curry, for example, when no one's watching, he would speak to the people outside on the plaza or sign autographs or not just talk to the talent on the couch, but people behind the scenes. And I just thought, what a gracious human, And I remember fast forward to talking to one of our interns and, I tried to be a mentor to a lot of them. And one of them said, you're always pouring into us, but what would you want to do? Like, what are your hopes and dreams? And I said, honestly, with these 3 kids, I would love to just talk to some of these folks' moms and just ask them, what did you feed them? What did you do right? What did you do wrong? Is there anything you'd have done differently? And she said, you should go for it. And so it started as a digital series. I was doing it on the side. One of my friends who was a producer, we just did it on our own. And we got a little bit of a budget and we would, for Steph Curry, we flew to her house, his childhood home. And I remember sitting on her couch and talking to her, and she was so willing to share. And then she took me to his childhood bedroom, and it still had the trophies, and it had like a poster of Shaq on the wall. And I thought, God, before there were vision boards, our rooms used to be vision boards, And so I felt like, oh my gosh, I love this idea. And so one led to another. And then next thing you know, it was Wanda Durant and then Shaq's mom and then Lady Gaga's mom and then Lin-Manuel Miranda, Matthew McConaughey. And it just one mom after another. Once they realized and they heard like, oh, she really just wants to sit and hear what I have to share, my wisdom. And a lot of these women, especially because a lot of these folks are so well known, these football stars, for example, they've been going to football games for since their kids were 6, 7 years old. They poured so much into their kids over the years. And so I think for someone like me to say, hey, I see you and I value what you did, I would love to hear what you think about it and your journey. And they've been wonderful. Well, I think a few things. One, I got the idea to write it during COVID at a time when a lot of us were questioning where the world was going and if we made it out of this thing, like what am I going to, what more do I want to do with life? And, once we get out of lockdown, are there dreams unfulfilled, And I remember telling my husband at the time, I was like, man, I would love to write a book about what I've learned from these women, And then even losing my husband, I think looking at it now, on the outside of it, I think I've had to learn in the most brutal of ways about the fragility of life. And I've seen how he left his mark, And so it caused me to say, okay, well, what do I want to leave? What kind of legacy do I want to build? And what do I want my children to know of me? I'd never really thought before writing this book, I'd never really thought about my kids really knowing who I am and my journey and where I come from and how did I end up in Wichita, Kansas to, network news, and what do I think about things, my faith, resiliency, grit, all of these things. I wanted them to know me. And so in some ways, this is what I set out to do. And it's essentially my love letter to motherhood. That's what I want to put out into the world. My first big project outside of just the show itself was executive producing a documentary on infertility because I love having children and so many of my girlfriends were having problems having children. And so I wanted to share their story. And this is just another piece of that. The motherhood piece of it, empowering women, and not just mothers, whether you're an aunt or you don't have kids, but you're a nurturer or a Sunday school teacher or a coach. I just wanted those women to feel seen and empowered. And as much as I wanted them to be present in the lives of their kids, I also want them to be present in their own lives. And that was a huge takeaway for me is I don't want to be so busy, one, worried about what's happening tomorrow and trying to rush through it that I miss it. I don't want to do that for my kids and I don't want to do it for myself. If you spend your days stressed, feeling guilty, feeling like you're not enough, you lose time. And I've learned the value of time. This is the book I wish I had from the moment I, you know, joined this club, you know, because I think, you know, I've told my friends and my own, you know, little sister who now is, you know, has 3 little ones. It's like, I think there's a balance there of, if we're not careful, you pour so much into your kids that what I learned from these women is then you look up and you're like, who am I? You know? And so of course we want to pour into them. Obviously, we'll do anything for them. But I think it's also important for them to see that you're also pouring into yourself and self-care. I think that it seems buzzy, but it's true. Everybody knows I love Olivia Dean. And one time I saw this interview with her, and she talked about, you know, her album was called The Art of Loving. And she said she wanted to be a master and learn about the craft of loving and love and study it. I feel that way about motherhood. Like, I love it, and I want to be I want to learn the craft of it and be the best mom I can be, and almost approach it in some ways like a science. Like, how, you know, things that I can do right, things I could maybe do differently, you know, the fact that every kid is different. Like, I just want to study it and be a master at the craft of it, if that makes any sense. In some ways, after talking to so many of these women, I walked away thinking, you know what? You are the mother for that child. God gave that child to you because you are the one he wanted for that child, right? And so I thought about how, like, I think it was Wanda Durant, for example, and Kevin was really tall. You know, I'm really short. I'm 4'11", I'm petite. And I never questioned, I'm always in the front of pictures. I'm 4'11", that's what happens. But she went to the school and said, wait a minute. He wants to put him in the front sometimes. Why does my kid always have to be in the back? Like, he's self-conscious. Put him in the front, you know? And I thought, because she's tall too, so maybe she knows how that feels, or even Shaq's mom, right? And so it's like, it's almost like the mama bear. Like, she knows what, you know, what that child needs. And so I think you have to trust that. And so if that concept is true, that you are the mother for that child, then that means what you do for your child and what you may do for that one, that doesn't make it right, because we are all different, right? And so when I interviewed Steph Curry, and she said, you know, his first 8th grade game, I think it was, that he wasn't allowed to play because he didn't do his chores the night before. I was sitting there thinking, oh, I would have folded. Are you kidding me? My kid just called me and asked me if he could have a play date because his room is messy. Like, I thought, God, did my mom tell her to tell me to toughen up, you know? But then I interviewed Gronk's mom, and she's like, don't have white carpet if you don't want stains on it, you know? Or Denise Jonas was like, yeah, we had a couch downstairs. Sometimes it was a couch. Other times it was a trampoline, you know? So it's like, you recognize that there's no one right way. My grandmother used to say, she had so many sayings, and she used to say that one all the time. Honey, I'm doing the best I can with the light I have to see by. You know, she would say it all the time. And so, you know, it just makes so much sense in the small things and in the bigger things. You know, we're all just doing the best we can. And I also recognize that, listen, not every relationship with a mother is perfect. There are people who don't get along with their mother. There are people who are estranged. There are people who did not like their childhood. So then when they have kids, they want to do it completely different. Or there are foster moms, you know. So I recognize that motherhood comes in all shapes and sizes. And I tried to address that as well. You know, with Alma Wahlberg, for example, the Wahlberg matriarch, she had a very tough childhood. I mean, she talked about the fact that, you know, there was alcoholism, there was abuse, there were days where she didn't know if she would be able to eat. You know, she said if there was something on the stove, maybe she would get a meal. And so she really wanted to talk about how she took that childhood and tried to change it for her own kids and pour into her kids. And she wanted people to know that, listen, I know you see my kids and their stars and there's wealth now, but there was a journey, you know, that got us here. And I thought that was important to include because everything is not perfect. And you see these celebrities and you see all these things and it looks like they have everything. But the reality is, you know, they didn't at all the time. And there are some women who really had to to push. Pabba Lakshmi's mom, she was an immigrant. We hear a lot of immigrant stories these days, and so I tried to, there are a lot of these big concepts that we're talking about even in society now, and I wanted to kind of put a face to it. I was so stressed all the time in the early days. I was just overwhelmed. I mean, you can imagine, like, I had, twins, and then my oldest was only 3, and I was doing morning news. I was waking up at 3:30 in the morning. It was a lot. And I just felt overwhelmed. I remember I was in Philadelphia at the time, and I pulled over, and I just started crying. There was a gospel song that was on. I Gave Myself Away, and, I listened to that song, and I thought, okay, like, I have to, like, loosen my grip on all of this. Because the reality is, even having these children, I didn't make it happen, right? Especially now, I realize the beauty of it all. I didn't make it happen. So now I think that when they're here, I can just control it. You can't, And especially once they start going to school and there are external factors, they say your heart's on the outside of your body. You can't control everything. And so I had to learn to surrender a little bit. And I think when I loosened my grip and I gave myself grace, I think it just became a lot easier. It's less isolating. You're a bit more clear. You're a bit more methodical. You're a bit more mindful. And I think you're better for your kids that way and for yourself. I remember when, oh my gosh, right after the twins were born, I have a special needs brother, and he was with me, and my mom was out loading the car. They were getting ready to go back to Wichita. And I was alone with him, and he was holding one of the twins, and I was holding the other. And he's like, I have to go now. And I was like, Bud, I call him Bud. I'm like, Bud, don't leave me. And he's like, he looked at me just like, and he put him down so gently. And I just cried because they both started crying. And I remember looking at both of them, and I'm like, well, you're both crying. Like, I don't know what to do. I just felt so overwhelmed by all of it, and I'm like, okay, do I pick one up and then put you down and then pick another up? I just remember feeling overwhelmed. And then eventually I joined like this mom's group, a twins group. And it was so lovely. Like I should have joined the group sooner, and I would just meet them out on the playground. And, one mom said, hey, even though they're twins and you have another, maybe take them on dates, one at a time so that they're individuals. And I thought, oh, okay. And so I started doing it. From a very early age, we went on mom dates with each one of them, and they each picked a place where they would want to go with me, and we still do it now. They all like diners for some reason, I guess because you can get like sushi and chicken nuggets, I don't know, but and pancakes. But I learned that from the playground. And so if you're not careful, it can be very easy to isolate yourself in those early days. And so I thought if I could create this book where even if they just open it up and they land on a page where it says, hey, there's community or something to kind of get them out of that bubble, that was part of my intention. What would be a shame is to waste 42 years, 54 years of that worry that we feel. And then you look at them and they're okay. And then goodness forbid your time is up. And it's like, well, dang it. I just wasted all of that time, right? So I'm just trying to not do that. I remember when I started here, I would listen to it was primarily Hoda and Maria Shriver, right? They always talked about how by the time they hit like 50, they were more self-assured and, you just know your likes and your dislikes. You're not so worried about what other people think. And I remember thinking at the time in my 30s, like, well, shoot, maybe I should do that now. Why wait for a decade to get there? If they're telling you that this is where they are and it's great over there, then let's get there now. I feel that way about motherhood. If these mothers are telling you not to waste it worrying, then let's try to figure out how we can do that. And what I recognize is like I had to approach it this way because you can't just tell me not to worry because I'm gonna, And so I just want us to be able to have these conversations. And so for me, that's just a starting point to where I hope people can start to have these conversations about how it's so hard or how it's so isolating or what did you learn or how did you learn to exhale or just, you know what I mean? It's community. I just want to build this like awesome tribe. Women really struggle with it, especially women who are working, you know, or traveling like I was. I was feeling guilty about it, you know, and it's like you can't, and every mom who worked said the same things. It's like, you know, and Lin-Manuel turned out all right. You know what I mean? She would talk about how he was nervous at night and she would breathe with him at night. And you think about parents who have children who are nervous, you know, and don't worry. Like, we love Moana, we love Hamilton, we love In the Heights. Like, they're gonna be okay. You know, and it's not to say, you know, I joke, you know, it's not to say that we're all trying to raise these celebrity kids. It's not that at all. But I just use them as an example of, listen, we all have the hard stuff. I remember I have a girlfriend, and I talk about in the book, every kid has something, whether it's an allergy, whether it's an illness, whether it's a disability or, you know, whatever, on the spectrum, you know, all kids have stuff, right? And that's what they come to us. That's how they come to us. So now what do we do with this beautiful package that we have? And how can we not mess it up? You know, that was my goal. You know what I think? I think it's a feeling, right? They said, what does Maya Angelou say? You know, it's not what people say, it's how you make them feel. I know that I want my kids to be resilient and strong and brave and adventurous and curious and kind and be an intellect. Like, I know what I want them to be. And what I've realized is sometimes we're reflections of what we see. And so then I want to model that, right? And so, you know, when I saw them open the book, the box for, you know, that rite of passage as an author, you get your box of books. And they held it, and then I saw them go to the page, and it said to Kyan and Claire, Josephine, and Uche, when they saw their names, and I saw their faces, I was like, yeah, like I want them to see that in the midst of everything we've been through, I'm still pushing through, and I'm still writing, I'm still creating. There's still wins, you know, there's still, you know, I can still be brave, and they can read in the pages some of the things that I've been through that they didn't know, you know. Clara started reading it on the plane after spring break from Puerto Rico. And she goes, "You fell down the steps with me?" And I was like, yeah. And I was like, and the bruise really hurt. It was huge, but you were fine, you know. But it was fun to watch her read that story. I guess I'd never talked about it, you know. So, you know, and I learned that from Alma Wahlberg. I just never thought about my kids needing to know who I am and what I think and where I get my grit from or where I get my resiliency from or what that looks like. You know, I want them to see it modeled. That's why I kept trying to talk to some of these women, because I wanted to know, okay, if I do this, am I going to mess them up? And then you realize you're not, you know? So chores, I think deep down inside, you're like, I want them to like me. I don't, you know, or I don't want to, but they need chores. They need discipline. I think it's discipline wrapped in love. And I learned that just having these conversations. I added that part after the book was finished. So the book was supposed to come out last spring. And I knew, you know, I was fiercely protective of his privacy, and he didn't want people to know. And so, but I also felt like, you know, I'm writing a book about motherhood, and I'm being challenged in the deepest of ways. And so I knew that I was hopeful, I thought he would still be living. And so I thought, well, if you read this book, you're going to know that there have been some challenges, but I don't have to go into detail. But once he passed, I felt obligated to at least be honest about how hard it has been. And so, and my why for doing it. And that was a big part of my why, was after his first brain surgery, he looked over at me and he was like, "Where's your laptop?" You know? And he pushed me to keep writing it. And so I felt obligated to get it done. But also, you know, I mean, mine was like the worst, but I do think, and I've said it a lot, that when life gets hard, motherhood doesn't stop. If anything, the volume is turned up in so many ways. And what do you do in those moments? You know, we have to keep going. And that was where I realized, as much as I'm admiring these women for being tough, heck, I'm tough too. You have to be. And so I feel like, you know, I had to give myself some credit, and we have to give ourselves credit. You know, sometimes when we talk about Mother's Day, we do the pink, and we do the flowers, and we talk about the nurturing and how much she loves and the soft part. But we're also very tough and very strong. There's the term, you know, mama lion and mama bear, and those terms are there for a reason, because we are protective. We're fiercely protective, even to where we'll sacrifice ourselves for them. You know, you talk about Wanda Durant, she just wouldn't eat, you know, or you think about Alma Wahlberg, like out on the streets looking for her kids when they snuck out and pulling them out, you know, when they snuck out the window, and she's driving around looking for them. We can be tough cookies. And she's this big, you know, or Kay McConaughey when she talks about, you know, being, giving, you know, her boys discipline, you know, and there, are you kidding me? Matthew McConaughey is the king of charm, but she was a tough cookie, you know, so we can hold two things. We can be tough cookies, but we can also be nurturing and soft. We can be both, and that's okay. And the same way we approach that with parenting, we have to do the same for ourselves. I'm so hard on myself, right? But sometimes I have to give myself some grace too. My hope for this book is that even if there's a day where you can't read it, but you hear us talk about it so much in podcasts or on this show or wherever you hear me, that when you look at it, that it can even just remind you to take a breath and to breathe and to slow down. I think when we slow down, we're better for ourselves, we're better for our kids, we're better for our own dreams. And on that note, not to stop dreaming. You know, when Shaq's mom talked about getting her degree in her 40s, or, you know, she battled alcoholism for a minute, you know, it's like, it's never too late to pivot or change or elevate or evolve. If you look in the mirror and you don't like it or you want to tweak it, do it. And no one's going to tell you to. So sometimes you just have to do it. I'm telling you, if you don't like something, to tweak it, change it. And I'm telling you that, and that's kind of separate from the mom thing. But it's like, while I have your attention, you're whole all by yourself and you're enough, you know? There's no shortage. You know, when Michael B. Jordan accepted his award, his Academy Award, he's like, "Hey, Mom." I'm like, "That's how I started the book." Ah! I'm actually, I think she RSVP'd to an event I have coming up. But yeah, I really hope, my biggest hope is for the woman who reads it. If she can take the book and share it with a couple girlfriends, or be a part of a reading group or a book group, or I just really hope that it's bigger than me, and that you use it to have a conversation. Like I said, even if you just don't read it, but you use it to say, "Oh my gosh, this girl's talking about motherhood. Let's talk about it. The good, the bad, the hard, the things." That is all I dream for this book, is for that to create a larger dialogue about it. Wherever you get your books, if you put in Through Mom's Eyes and a hot pink book pops up, it's probably mine. Purchase it, please. And buy one for you and someone you know. It's pretty. It can be by your bedside, on your coffee table. But most importantly, I hope it just like nourishes you. I hope it makes you feel good. And I've prayed so much around this book, and I know my intention is so pure that I just hope it brings positive energy to your home.
Hey, thanks for watching. And don't forget, you can catch the Today Show every morning on NBC, or take Today when you're on the go. Just follow the Today podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you listen.